What's up? What's
Yes.
up? Hey.
Well, listen, I hope y'all are ready. I hope you're strapped in. You are here with us on mutual ground. We saved your space on the couch. Hey, Coach P, tell them to get ready.
Listen, this episode, it's about to blow your mind. We're going to talk about a topic that I believe everybody has touched on, dibble-dabbled,
Partaken in some form of fashion.
and some even found scriptures on it, so I don't know. Let's see what happens. Stay tuned, sit back, get ready.
Welcome. Hey.
What's
Listen.
going on? Yeah.
How was your day?
It
Before
was
we
good.
jump into this, how was your day?
Today was good. It was a good day. How was
Good.
yours? Yeah.
Mine was good. I
Yeah.
got to go to church,
Okay.
hang out with the people them.
Okay, okay.
And the Lord,
Fellowship.
And the Lord's house. Yes. Hey, but how about you? What did you do today? We're just thankful that you're here. We're thankful that you continue to come back and spend this time with us as we continue this journey.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
Huh.
Ooh, and what's today's brick? What we got for him today? What's the next brick on our path?
That Mary Jane, is that what they call it? That
Mary Jane. I'm in love with Mary Jane. Yes, we're going to talk about weed today. Our next brick coming down
Yeah.
to just be on this path that we have all either participated, been around it, some sold it, so I just want to take a moment to hear your thoughts and hear from y'all what y'all think about weed. So what I want to ask you, my question to you is, what are your thoughts about weed? Good, bad, ugly? I just want to hear what your thoughts are.
I make that face only because I have smoked weed before, so Melanie, let me not act like.
Full disclaimer.
Listen.
I have tried it.
Listen.
More than once.
Okay.
Yes.
For me, I've tried it, I've done it. And I realized, it's not for me. Sometimes the trend, with the way I grew up, no, it wasn't done in the house. No, it wasn't something that I saw regularly, right?
Yeah.
But just like amongst my peers, amongst friends, it was like, okay, let me see, because y'all getting something out of this. I need to make sure to see what I can get out of this.
I don't want to miss.
And I realized after smoking just wasn't for me, realizing that, you know what? I'm going to let y'all have that,
Okay.
Because I can be on my high without anything to help me get there. So
you don't need any extra stimulant.
I don't need it. What about you? What's your thoughts?
Well, my friends that are watching, y'all know I was a weed connoisseur, okay? A sommelier of weed, if you will.
Okay.
For a long time, coming out of college, I smoked breakfast, lunch, dinner, in between snacks. I didn't have no food in my house, but I had weed. Like, it was really...
That's deep.
It was deep. Like, I didn't keep food in the fridge. It was weed in the fridge.
That's deep.
Yeah, so it was a lifestyle. I think people get not caught in it, I won't say that, but they choose to subscribe to this lifestyle. And after a while, with weed, you gotta have more. It's like with anything, it's gotta be bigger, it's gotta be better, we gotta have more, you gotta continue to up the level.
Okay.
To continue to get that, high, if you will.
Okay.
And it was a journey to going from smoking every day to I don't smoke at all anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was definitely a journey.
I know it is, because I've seen, like you say, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, anything in between. Just gotta have it. Just gotta do it. So I know a couple of folks, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
I'm just saying that it's not for me.
Yes.
It's not for me. No.
So I got this over here for you. No.
Let's see what your reaction is.
Yes.
No, it's just not for me. I think that everyone has their own thing. and I just really feel like it just makes me much more paranoid. And then you jump into that whole thing where people are like, oh, you got to try this, you got to try that. This is up or this. Listen, I have no time to go through every.
You don't want to take a class?
I'm not doing it. I'm not. I don't know what's for me. I'm going to just cancel it all.
Well, the world says smoke it up. The world says it's legal.
Yeah.
The world says have it.
They do.
And what are your thoughts on how liberal people are with it? Do you think it's something that we should, as a society, embrace or kind of shy away from?
With the way the world is going, the way that our generation, I think that it has to be embraced. But I don't think that has to be so much embraced where you feel like you are feeling like you're pressured to do it.
Okay.
I think that I get on Instagram and I see Wiz Khalifa and he's smoking and blowing big old clouds. I was like, how are these people surviving? Like
functioning.
And it's like they're smoking a lot of it. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that it's to each his own is necessary, because some do it for pain, some do it for whatever reason. Yeah. But I think that the way the world is going, like you're saying, everybody needs to try it. You got to see what it does for you. If you're feeling like this, we's going to make you feel like this. Yes. If you're feeling sad, we's going to make you happy. If you're feeling happy, we's going to make you sad. Yeah. So it's like, I just don't know if it's for everybody, but I do not coach, weed. I feel like there are some other ways that you can free your mind and free yourself. Yes. Outside of picking up I'm gonna date myself, a joint,
a doobie,
picking up a joint, and smoking. But again, I don't judge those that do want to smoke. I mean, it is what it is. If you got to smoke, I'm not telling you can't come to my house because you got to smoke.
You can't smoke in my house.
I'm opening the patio so you can smoke.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna close the door.
Yeah, you can.
But do your thing.
Do your thing.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it now. Now that I'm out of the weed lifestyle, because it was different things that you can, the vaping and the pens and the gummies and they got drinks now. They got weed for dogs. They got CBD oil shops everywhere. And especially here in Vegas.
It's a lot very frugal.
Oh, man. Vegas is very liberal when it comes to this weed. They actually legalized it here, not just for medical use. It is for anybody who wants to participate.
Right.
As long as you are an of-age adult. I don't know. Is it 18 or 21?
I think, I don't know. I don't invest.
I don't know, because I started smoking once I was already too old to be smoking.
But then, you say it's 18 or 21. We don't know. But I've seen 14, 15, 16, 17. I've seen young kids smoking weed. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, what's going on here?
Where are your parents? But, okay, so here's the thing. My first time smoking weed, I was 13.
See what I'm saying?
I was 13, and it was my best friend's sister's older boyfriend that got us smoking.
And now, don't go back trying to figure out who that was.
Yeah,
y'all don't do that.
Anonymity, we don't throw no names
out
there.
Don't do that.
But so I was 13, and then I didn't smoke again till I tried it again when I was 16, and then I waited till I was in college, 18, and then from 18 to 30, I smoked almost every day. Yeah. But see, my thing is that the world says do it. It's acceptable. It's a calming agent. Mm-hmm. It keeps people kind of in this. You've seen the stoners, Shaggy. Mm-hmm. This kind of it's all good, Scoob. That kind of
yeah. And they do. They really do. They make it seem as if you're, like I said, if you're feeling a certain type of way, this is what you need to make you feel better.
Yes.
If you are feeling stressed and you don't know what to do,
here. Take it.
Blow your cares away, bro.
Yes.
And it's like, no.
Yes.
And, sometimes I do feel that way. I mean, the couple times I have smoked, it did feel good.
Yeah.
But then for me, it was the coming off of that high, I guess, where I was just like, oh my God, what's happening to me? And why are these voices in my head so loud? You know, so it's like, everybody's like, everybody that smokes, they always laugh at my stories of when I smoke, because I will tell my story when we get there. But I feel as if it just makes me much more paranoid than I should be. Yeah. Okay, so we know that the world says green light. Give me the green light. You know, that's what they say, go for it.
They
say go all in.
But the church says something completely different.
What does the church say?
Listen, get your tea. Get your tea. The church says you can't have two masters. The church says you can't serve your flesh and serve God.
Okay.
And so our flesh is what's desiring to smoke and continuing to be in this numbing agent, numb to the world. It numbs you. And you can't do that and serve the Lord. So it does say in the Bible, again, don't get me on my addresses, just know that I know it's in there. But it does say that, you're to be sober-minded. So the Bible doesn't say the word weed. It never says there's no weed in the Bible. It's not written in there. It does say thou'th won't smoketh in King James. It doesn't say that. But it does say that you are to be clear and sober-minded and that you are to be vigilant, because just like the bridegroom, when he comes, there's a story in the Bible where it talks about the bridesmaids having their oil and their lanterns.
Okay.
And them not being vigilant and alert and making sure that the oil is full so that they can be ready for when things happen and be ready for when the Messiah comes. So the Bible is very clear about, you are to be vigilant, watching, clear, sober-minded, so that you can see all the attacks of the enemy, so that you're not in this haze, delusional and seeing other things. Because I know a lot of people on the, that smoke, they're like, oh, I smoke and I get my eyes are open and I'm clear and I'm acceptable. Yeah, but that is opening you up to a whole nother realm and dimension of demons and principalities that you're not supposed to be exposed to. So the Bible says don't do it. And I know that in the church, the church says you can't serve, you can't sit, don't come in here smelling like it. I need you to back, give me 50 feet. Because they don't want that to be the image of the church, of one that is smoking and high and,
I got two questions in what we're the subject matter now.
Yes.
What say you to that person that tells you, when I smoke, this brings me down. This brings me back to earth. This helps me tap into my true energy, my true senses, my true state of mind. And it does help me to think clear. What do we say to that person?
Ooh. I mean, truth be told, there are some religions that do say that.
Okay.
In the Rastafari religion, they say.
Is that like the Israelites and
Jamaican?
Okay.
They don't cut their hair.
Got it.
They don't do. They have a whole lot of extra going on, but we're going to stick with the weed.
Okay.
And they say that the higher you are, the closer you are to God. And with all drugs, most of them are called the God hack. So it's supposed to open you up and make you susceptible to where you can clearly hear from God. And so the thing about it is, that's what Jesus is supposed to be doing for you. Jesus is supposed to be your God hack. You don't get to God but through Jesus. So you are circumventing the Messiah to get your own experience with the supernatural. Instead of going through Jesus and actually submitting and surrendering your will that way. So, I mean, there are whole religions born and birthed off of different drugs. There's a ayahuasca retreat, like ayahuasca religion, and that's a whole nother peyote kind of thing that they do. And they based a whole religion off of it. So, but to stand flat-footed and believe in Jesus, it's he says it. He doesn't say that you can't, you know, because the argument could be made, you know, how is it that you can drink? How is it that you can have, you know, alcohol?
Right.
But you can't smoke? Right. Like, there's not one sin greater than the other, so why does the church accept one and not the other? Yes.
Okay.
So that's the question I could lean into there.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, one of the things that I think is we accept those who sin like us. We excuse the things that we don't consider to be bad sins. So did I hit a subject there? Yeah. So I think that's one of the things is we accept those who sin like us. And Jesus drank in the Bible. His first miracle, water into wine. So the argument can be made, if you can drink wine, why can't you smoke weed? Yeah. So
great response. I think that in most cases, we always look for an excuse to validate the things we do, why we do them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, I know tons of people in the church that smoke.
I know quite a few.
And you know, I don't say nothing against. I hold nothing against them because I don't want them to hold nothing against me, because that's to each his own. Yeah, because we all have to answer.
You and Jesus. That's between you and God.
We all have to answer for something.
You know, everybody's not gonna be up there. When you get to heaven, I ain't gonna be there with a reference letter
and say, "Remember when?"
I ain't gonna be up there to be like, "She's good, he's good."
No,
they did this. I ain't gonna be up there. That's between you and God.
No,
and that's each of us have to walk that path. But I think on this journey called life, I think we should stop throwing rocks at one another when we're all sinners in some way. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you that all sin is a trap. Mm. All sin leads to death. Mm-hmm. And it might not be a physical death, but it is a death of something in some way in your life. Mm. And for me, smoking weed every day was a death of my ambition. It was a death of my drive. Even now, I still struggle with procrastination because I'm like, man, no, I got time, you know. And I, for that long period of time that I did smoke weed, a lot of it is a blur. I don't have all of the memory. I mean, not saying I have a photographic memory or anything crazy like that, but there's, you know, some things that people have to tell and be like, Patrice, you remember when we did this? And I'm like, I was there. Oh, okay, I guess all right. I don't remember. So, so then my question to you is, what do people actually do? What's this mutual ground in between that we kind of walk? What do you think that is?
And I need to tap into that, jumping into the industry that I'm in the fitness industry, and seeing trainings and things. People are going to do what they feel is best for them at the time.
Yes.
So if I gotta smoke, if my pre-workout is the marijuana, I'm gonna smoke my marijuana, hit the gym, and do what I gotta do. For the life of me, I cannot be a trainer and tell you that have a clean lifestyle. Do this, do that, and then, but you can smoke your weed.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't make sense, right? Yeah. So I think that people still, I think what they do what makes them feel better, of course. Yeah. But in essence, if it makes you uncomfortable,
if you feel compromised,
I think that they should definitely reevaluate and reassess why they're doing it.
Oh, is it to reassess the why behind the what? Why is it that you are doing what you're doing?
And if you do that, that can, I mean, wean yourself off. I mean, sometimes you just can't stop cold turkey.
Yeah, with a lot of things.
Bless even those folks
coffee,
who can. Yeah.
Alcohol, sex. There's a lot of stuff you just can't cut.
You just can't cut cold turkey, you know. Yeah. So I think, you know, and God's blessings to those who do. But those who have to wean themselves off, slowly pull back. Yeah. And then slowly tap into a different source, if that's going to be God, if that's going to be therapy, if that's going to be something that's going to help you free yourself. Because once you do that, I feel as if you're going to start saving some money.
Oh God,
you gonna start losing some weight.
Yes.
I mean, if you really go stop spending all this junk food or all this money on junk food, because I feel as if that happens. Some like, oh, I don't get hungry. It makes me full. Well, you go start eating again.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna make your skin. Once you stop, your skin's gonna clear up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It's just so many things internally to you that you don't know how long it's gonna take to reverse it, if it is reversible.
Yeah.
So I think that what the world does, they do what makes them feel better. But if it makes you uncomfortable, I think you should do that.
Yeah.
Because in your uncomfortableness something comes from that.
Yeah. Well, uncomfortable means it's time for growth. Uncomfortable means you have to step out of wherever you are to make yourself in a better space.
Yeah.
Get yourself in a better space.
Yeah.
I think that what we actually end up doing is a mix between the two. You know, it's I'm gonna do it and not say anything. I'm gonna do it with only these certain people and not
to try and hide it.
Everybody else. And or it's only something, you know, they used to call them weekend warriors that they would do this is back in the 80s, when cocaine was a thing.
Oh, okay.
So doctors and lawyers, they would call themselves weekend warriors. On the weekends, they would go party crazy, doing all types of drugs. And then on Monday morning, they were back in the office, suited and booted.
Ready.
You know? So, you know, it's that trying to be a weekend warrior. I only do it on the weekends, or I only do it here. But when you put restrictions on it like that, it almost always goes beyond those
trickles on into Monday, Tuesday.
It starts to overlap. It starts to become greater than what you had initially thought it would be.
That's a great point.
So I know we don't want to say it's wrong or it's right, because that's not our job. That's not what we're called here to do.
No.
But I will say that I think children should stay away from it, because it does dull the brain.
Studies have proven that.
And it's proven that. It dulls the brain. Yes. And it makes... It's when your brain is already trying to develop and trying to connect and make all the synapses and synapses and synapses all happen, right?
Yeah.
So at the younger the age that you get started, it dulls the brain, and it dulls the ambition, it dulls the drive. And now there are some people who smoke weed, like you said, Wiz Khalifa and Snoop and all of them. And if any of y'all want to come smoke with me, you know, I might put out my jersey just for y'all. You know? No, but seriously, those people are successful, but they have a true drive behind them, and they picked a talent and a skill that they knew they can build upon. Those people that are, you know, really promoting smoking weed as a lifestyle every day. They're musicians and artists, you know, like where they get to use that to be creative. You know, for the average person, we got to go work a 9 to 5 and put our hand on somebody's time clock. Smoking weed is not going to get you successful in that arena. So I would say know where you are, know what you want to do. And I think as a youth, you don't have that yet. So let your brain develop, and then, you know, and then you can ruin brain cells like I did.
And I think that I was when you said, you know, they just go amongst certain people and then they do it. My mom used to always tell me, if you gotta hide it, don't do it. You know, if you gotta sneak around, beat around, because eventually, folks that know and folks that stop smoking or folks that don't smoke at all, we can smell weed so far away, you know, and be like, ooh, what's that smell? And then you gotta, you know, so I think that, you know, if you gotta hide it, but I don't think that there's nothing wrong with people who smoke. I don't think that if that's your decision, you're not bad people. I don't think that you're going to go any further or less further than the next person. I just think that you want to be clear and conscious of what's happening. You want to be clear and conscious of what you're putting in your body. You don't really know where it comes from. And oftentimes we put all this stuff in us, and then we're trying to figure out why we have all these ailments. And we're not supposed to even experience this at this age, but we are, because why? We sitting here smoking this and doing this and hitting this and doing all that other stuff. Yeah. I'm not saying that I'm going to cast a shadow over anyone and what their lifestyle is.
Yeah.
Do what you do.
Yeah.
But here is some educated, sound wisdom, or here is some platform that's going to give you some type of advice to say, hey, we get it, but make a conscious effort in putting into, or what you're putting into your body.
Yeah. Because right now everything's being laced with fentanyl. There's people dying.
Man.
And it only takes a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that children, adults, if it's your decision because you want to do it,
go ahead.
That's between you and God.
Go ahead.
But when you feel pressured, or the FOMO, we said FOMO last time. I think FOMO falls into almost every category. It's the fear of missing out on something.
Yeah.
If it's any of that, it's not for you.
Yeah.
And
if you do, especially if you do it just to be cool, because doing it, and then they sitting there laughing at you while you do. They want to see you make a fool of yourself because they used to this.
Yes.
You know, when you tell somebody you smoke, I told a story that I smoked and I went bananas.
Okay, so now you got to tell it here. Let me hear it.
We were amongst friends, and we were, I cannot even tell you, if I try to bounce back to it, I can't even tell you why I smoked, but it was like a bong. What do you call that?
A bong?
It was like a bong.
A pipe?
A pipe. So it was a pipe. Put the weed in there, and you do it. So nobody told me, you just got to go, you don't got to go.
Oh, you smoking a cigar. You thought you was...
So I'm smoking.
Yeah.
Hit it probably 2 or 3 times. I kid you not. Everybody else was mellow.
Yeah.
I'm sitting up, perked up, like, what is going... what is going... Why are y'all sleeping? Are y'all dead? What's going... All these things are going through my mind.
Yeah.
In the middle of everybody, I'm like, wake up.
You ruining everybody else's high.
You got to take me home. I had to get to a place that I know, that I've seen before, that I've recognized. When I kid to tell you, I was on my way home. I saw the police. I thought they were trying to kidnap me. Stop for the police. Let them get me out of this car. They're like, why didn't you stop for the police? Call my mom. I called my mom. Mom was like, oh my God, my son's on that stuff. Y'all done got my son out here late. What is going on? She called my brother. My brother's like, what's going on? Where you at? Literally. Cold shower, milk bath.
A milk bath.
My mama said, get some milk, pour it over that baby head. I'm my mom's baby boy.
Okay.
Pour it over my baby's head. Get him to the hospital. What is going on? Literally, I promise you, I felt like I was high for a week.
Yes.
But it was just the experience for me, the paranoia. I felt like I probably stopped being high hours later.
Yeah.
But my mind, just to where that weed or what that experience was for me, took me to somewhere I did not want to go. When you say high and talking to Jesus, I probably was sitting right there.
Right next to him. Yeah.
Hello. I'm here. You know, so I just feel like that experience for me, it took me to a place I didn't want to go to, and I didn't even know I was capable of getting to. So when you say God can take you to that high, or in your relationship with God, it can elevate you when you connect to Him and get you to that level.
Yeah.
I can, you know, be like, I can say the same thing, like, oh, Jesus, I have been experienced that with you, so I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
That was my story. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I can tell you about it. It is a psychedelic.
Yeah.
So it does mess with the mind. And I have a cousin, one of my first cousins, who smoked with somebody else, and they laced it with something, and his mind broke, and he is not the same. So you don't know how your body is going to react to certain things. And again, that's why I think kids shouldn't do it, because you don't know how your brain is going to react to it, and it could break your brain and really have you on a schizophrenia kind of path. Yeah. Where you can't distinguish reality. I can see that happening, from not. Yeah. So it is a drug. Yeah. Now, this drug does have wonderful uses. You know, there are people that have epilepsy that can, that need it in order to function. There's people that have chronic pains, and they don't want to get addicted to the pharmaceutical drug dealers. They want to, do a natural, holistic, and I get it. But is this something that you're going to be taking for the rest of your life, or are you going to change your lifestyle to change what's around you. So I just, tell people to be as careful and cautious as possible. But I was in the game, so I know. My first time smoking, I told you, I'm 13. I didn't even think I was high. I was like, I'm not high. This is nothing. Went to 7-Eleven. He took us to 7-Eleven to buy snacks.
Was this the Pimp Pumpkin?
No, Pimp Pumpkin. That was set 16, 17. Okay. Talk about 13. I've lived, boy. I tell you. So he took us in the store. I get a Slurpee, and you know how the Slurpee has the hole at the top. I put my straw in it and I turn it up, and I'm like, why is the Slurpee not coming out? And Slurpee is just going all down my shirt. I was like, oh, I am high, and I was like, oh, I have no control of my motor skills. Is what? I was like, I don't know. So ended up having to go to my friend's house and change my shirt.
Yeah.
And then I went home and slept like I never slept a day in my life.
I'm telling you.
And I left it alone then, went back at 18 and But it's one of those things, I think your brain hasn't developed. You don't know how you're emotionally
you don't.
Going to handle drugs.
You really don't.
So again, when it comes to the church, I think that they can tell you that it's live a life clean and worthy of God. And I think that's another element of it is, are you coating the vessel of your life to where it's not where the Holy Spirit can be housed. And I think that's the other element to this is, it's not that it's good or bad. It's, would Jesus even want to dwell in the vessel that is you if he got to go in there and air out the place first? If he got to go in there and open all the windows and let the smoke out, so it's just being a vessel worthy of his presence.
It was good.
Yeah.
That's good. I think you tapped into the worthiness says something, but to those that aren't even on the pathway to righteousness or on the pathway of walking with God or even acknowledging God, I think that if they take a different perspective on what am I putting in my body today that's going to affect me tomorrow.
Yes.
Because the decisions we make today affect our tomorrow. They may not stop our tomorrow because we know tomorrow's coming. We don't know if we're going to make it to tomorrow.
It's not guaranteed.
But
the clock still keeps ticking.
It's still going, So I think that if we do a good conscious check on what we're doing and what we're putting in our body, I think that we will really consider, I'm going to leave these edibles alone.
Listen, I was a fan. I was a fan.
And I know some, when I say I know some smokers, I know some smokers, okay? And I love them to death, but you can tell and you can see it in them.
Yeah, it's stunted their growth in some way.
From the mental to the physical. Yeah. I mean, you could just be
like, your lips is black.
I remember when,
I remember.
I remember when you look so different and you're just like, oh, you don't look the same. And they swear, I look different. Yes, you do.
Yeah. And again, it's holding a mirror and reflecting unto yourself.
Because listen, you can't always see what you look like.
Oh, everybody got blind spots.
I can't see that. I don't know how I'm looking to you unless I look to the camera, look to the mirror. But everyone else can see you.
They can see you. And they can see you and either emulate what you're doing, or they can see you and turn and go the opposite way.
Yep.
Our lives are a living testimony
every day
to what we do
every day.
So I'm with you. If not taking the world's way, is really just pay attention to what you're actually physically putting in your body. What you are, you are in control of that. That is the one thing you have control over, is what you are intaking into your body.
Right.
So I think, just being conscious and cautious
Agreed.
of that is the key.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So we're gonna roll up after this, is that what you said?
No, ma'am.
We're not. That's it. Yes. But listen, in the comment section, let us know. Are you for it? Are you against it?
Yeah, what's your feel? What's your take?
What's your take?
What's your take? And so, what's your take?
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yay.
We'll see you again.
We'll see you next week. Mm-hmm. Tap in, tune in, like and share. We'll be right here.
Hey,
brick by brick. Brick by brick.
Wing it now.
Brick by brick.
Hey.
Peace.